What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Kyle's Gaming. It's your boy Kyle, and in today's video, guys, I have done the top 5 worst, and now it's time for me to do the top 5 best wonder weapons in Call of Duty Zombies. Now, guys, keep in mind, this is just my own opinion. This isn't 100% fact, and these are not the only top 5 wonder weapons. These are just some of them, so I do plan on doing another top 5 wonder weapons down the line, but for right now, these are just the 5 that caught my eye, that I really love using, and that I've had a lot of fun using in the past, so I decided to go with these 5, but believe me, there's plenty more to come on the next list. And then lastly, good lord, I can't talk. Lastly, guys, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the original Raygun. I know I gave it such a hard time in my top 5 worst video. I put it at number 2. Really, it should have been more either at number 5 or a dishonorable mention. It didn't deserve number 2, so I figured I would kind of come right here and say, hey, the Raygun original really isn't that bad. It's not the worst gun ever. I shouldn't have put it at number 2. So I decided to throw it in here and give it a quick shout out right there. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get started with this video. Kicking off our list at number 5, guys, we have the Raygun Mark II. Now, I gotta say, when Treyarch came out with this weapon for Black Ops 2 on Buried, I was really excited, but I was also definitely skeptical, because, you know, the Raygun Mark I could kill you because of the splash damage. It wasn't too powerful. It was still a very good gun, definitely deserved a mention on this list, but, you know, it wasn't the greatest. But the Raygun Mark II, still not the greatest, but definitely had some major improvements over the first one. Number 1, of course, being they got rid of the splash damage. Thank you, Treyarch. I don't think I've ever said that in one of my videos before, so here we go. You know, there's a first time for everything. So here's the first time that I am actually thanking you guys for doing your jobs correctly for once, especially when it comes to a wonder weapon. They got rid of the splash damage, but you did kind of mess up. Not in the biggest way, but you did still kind of mess up by making this weapon a burst fire weapon. So as you guys can see in this gameplay, once I pack-a-punch this weapon and I use it for an entire round to kind of show you how it works and how good it is when you pack-a-punch it, there's a very brief period between when I have ammo and when I am running low on ammo in this thing. This entire round nearly takes up all of my ammo from the Raygun Mark II because it's a burst fire. And that's kind of the problem. Now, yes, the Raygun Mark II really is just supposed to be a get out of a sticky situation kind of gun. Like, you start getting surrounded by zombies, you just whip that thing out and you just start blasting them with the burst fire. And then you can actually see in this gameplay, every time I fire it, my guy kind of gets pushed back because the gun is so powerful, which I honestly I'm not even mad about that. I just find it funny that it's like so powerful. The character can't handle it and they get pushed back. I actually find that's kind of funny. But either way, guys, they definitely made some major improvements with this gun over the original, and they made even more improvements with the Raygun Mark III, but we're not including Black Ops 3 on this list per the usual, so the Raygun Mark II definitely deserve to be on this list, and at number 5. Moving on down to the number 4 spot on the list, guys, we have the Wonderwaffe, the second OG wonder weapon. Technically, the OG wonder weapon is the ray gun. This is technically the second OG wonder weapon, but it's the one that people enjoyed much more, and for good reason. The Wonderwaffe, no matter whether you play on World at War on like Derice and Shinonuma, or you play Black Ops 1's version of those maps, it doesn't matter. This gun is so much fun to use, and this gun, it's like infinite power. Swear to God, it's like infinite damage on the zombies. If you play like Shinonuma or Derice, you can basically last all the way up to round 30s, maybe even into the 40s and 50s, because back when World at War was first introduced, there was only 24 zombies that could spawn in at one time. Even into the later rounds, it could be like round 100, there's still only going to be 24 zombies spawning in. So you could actually kill the zombies with like 3 shots from this thing, as long as it was kind of a lower round and the zombies weren't that, impenetrable. But even so, the Wunderwaffe is just such a power weapon and a powerhouse. This thing shoots electricity straight at the zombies, and it chains that electricity to the zombies that are right next to the original one that got hit. Now, there is definitely a huge drawback on it, which puts it at number 4. And that is the fact that originally when Doris first came out, if you pack-a-punch the Wunderwaffe, it would take away your jug. And eventually Treyarch actually made it to where both versions, the unpack-a-punched and the pack-a-punch version of it, would take away your jug. So if you're standing too close to a zombie and you shoot it with the Wunderwaffe, it'll bounce back and hit you, and you would basically lose your jug. It'll still show itself. It'll still be there in the lower left-hand corner, but you'll only get hit once by the zombie and you will just die instantly. So that is really stupid, and I'm glad they decided not to go with that for the Black Ops 1 version, but come on, World at War, that is pretty stupid, and that definitely is a huge drawback. But otherwise, guys, it is definitely a great weapon, and it deserves to be on number 4. Just be a little bit more careful when you use this weapon. Moving on down to the number 3 spot on the list, guys, we have the Paralyzer from Buried. So already we have 2 weapons from Buried that have made it onto this list, and the Paralyzer just happens to beat out the Raygun Mark II for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's actually both a weapon and a tool for the map. So let me kind of explain the weapon aspect of it. The weapon aspect and the way it works on the zombies is that you start to blast it at the zombies, and it's kind of like the jet gun. It does kind of show like the wind and almost like in energy hitting the zombies, but it slows them down. It doesn't like suck them in and shred them like the jet gun does, especially because the Paralyzer actually works. And it basically will kind of start to paralyze the zombies, as the name suggests, and it will slow them down until eventually they freeze and will just explode and disintegrate on impact. So that is actually really cool. And then the tool aspect of it is you can actually shoot it at the ground and then jump, and it'll actually allow you to fly for a little bit. So in this gameplay you see right here, I have jumped onto the top of the bank, and there's only one direction for the zombies to come from. As long as you keep that couch right behind you, that 750 point couch behind you, there's only one direction for the zombies to come, and you can just camp there your entire game. You can go around 30, 40, even 50s just sitting up there doing that. And of course there's still over by jug. And then the other thing it's really good for is when you're in the maze, you shoot it at the ground, you can actually catapult over the hedges and over the green doors, which is also awesome. And then you pack-a-punch this thing, and of course, as always, it gets a lot better, much more powerful, and it'll last a lot longer before it burns out, which is also the drawback here. It is possible for the gun to overheat, which then you kind of have to wait for it to recharge and everything, and that could take a little while, so you might end up getting stuck. But as long as you conserve your energy on this thing and use it sparingly, you should be able to make it to the high rounds and use this thing. So the fact that it is both a weapon and kind of an essential tool for Buried definitely makes it more than deserving to be the number 3 spot on this list. And coming in at number 2 on the list, guys, we have the Thunder Gun, the second greatest wonder weapon in all of Call of Duty Zombies. And I say that because obviously there is a number 1 spot, but we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the OP Thunder Gun. Guys, this gun is probably my absolute favorite in all of Call of Duty Zombies, next to what's going to be on our number 1 spot. This thing, when I first started playing Black Ops 1 Zombies, I honestly was kind of scared because in Black Ops 2 they have an easy mode and an original mode, and because I was new to Zombies, I kept doing the easy mode, and it became really super easy. But then I went to original, and it's like, whoa, dude, this is so difficult. So when I went to Black Ops 1, there was no easy mode. It's all original. So I'm like, oh my god, how am I supposed to survive this? And I started playing Kino der Toten, and I'm running around with, I don't know, the Commando or some other pretty bad gun, and then I hit the box, I get the Thunder Gun, I go to the stage, I try to train, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm actually surviving, I'm getting points, and I was able to actually survive into the 20s because I had a Thunder Gun. That is how vital, I guess not necessarily vital, but just how important and amazing this gun is. The one single drawback of it is the ammo count. It has a very low ammo count even when it ends up getting pack-a-punch, but when you have a weapon as awesome as the Thunder Gun, it's actually understandable, because if you gave this thing like a huge supply of ammo, you'd never die. You honestly, you would never die. Like, the damage on this thing is infinite. I tell you, the damage is infinite, and I don't know. I honestly just don't even really know what else to say. This gun is the absolute best in all of Black Ops 1 zombies, which Black Ops 1 zombies had a lot of really good wonder weapons, and you're probably going to be seeing a lot of them on my next top 5 wonder weapons list. But for right now, guys, I had to give this to the Thunder Gun. Lots of great other weapons like the Zap Gun, the Shrink Gun, and I think it's called the Gersh device, the one you throw on the ground and it creates a black hole that sucks the zombies into it. There were just so many good weapons that I could have chosen, but I had to go with the Thunder Gun, just hands down, no contest with the Black Ops 1 wonder weapons. But there was a contest between this and our number 1, and our number 1 just so happened to beat it out. So let's go ahead and see what beat the Thunder Gun. And coming in at number 1 on a list of the top 5 wonder weapons, just ahead of the Thunder Gun, we have the staffs from Origins. Now keep in mind, I am not talking about just one specific staff, because I am going to make a video ranking each one of the staffs, going in depth and seeing which of those is the worst out of the 4 and which one's the best out of the 4. So I'm not going to be making it just one specific staff, but all the staffs together, because honestly, guys, just like with the paralyzer, these things are both weapons and tools. They're weapons because they are just so OP at killing the zombies, and they're so awesome. And then they're tools because you need them to complete the Easter egg. So the thing about the staffs that I had to put them above the Thunder Gun is because the Thunder Gun is really only for one person. I feel like the Thunder Gun is only available to one person in Black Ops 1. And even if it is possible for multiple players to have the Thunder Gun, what are the chances that all 4 of you are going to be able to, right? I mean, think about that. But when it comes to Origins, yes, you can't all have the fire staff. You can't all have the ice staff. One person has wind, lightning, fire, ice. That's how it goes. Each person gets their own staff, but you bring all of those together and all 4 of you are just absolutely unstoppable. No matter what staff you are holding, as long as you have all 4 of them and you work together, you guys are unbeatable, and it's just going to make completing the Easter egg that much easier for you. So I just couldn't choose one specific staff, although I will say my personal favorite that I would have put on the list is the fire staff, but I just could not pick one single staff, seeing as how I'm already going to do a video about each individual staff. But I gotta say, when it comes to Black Ops 2, you have the paralyzer, you have the Raygun Mark II, and I feel like there is, the Sliquifier. The Sliquifier is another really good one, but nothing, absolutely nothing compares to the staffs from Origins. Guys, even when I do my top 5, like another top 5 wonder weapons from Call of Duty Zombies, even the number 1 on that list, honestly, I would not say that it's better or as good as the staffs. If I was going to do a top 10, the number 1 on that top 5 would be number 2, and the staffs would still be number 1, because there's just a little something for everyone there. Whether you prefer fire, ice, wind, or lightning, boom, you have a staff. and it just makes it a lot better for everybody and a lot more fun, especially having to build them, upgrade them. Really gives you a challenge in trying to get all the pieces and get them all upgraded and everything. So it makes a really awesome challenge, especially if you're going for that Easter egg. So yep, hands down, just absolutely no contest. The Origin Staves are the OP wonder weapons of Call of Duty Zombies. And there you have it, everybody. Now, just a little heads up, if it does end up taking a little while, like a few days for me to get out the ranking of the staffs video, that's only because I'm trying to get as much gameplay for that as possible, so I'm not having to use clips from other YouTubers for the entire thing. I would like to make it a lot of my own gameplay, so that might end up taking a little while, but just be on the lookout for that. This would be a good time then to hit the little notification bell in the corner after you subscribe, and that way you can stay up to date with all new videos and you'll be first to know when that video comes out. So anyways, hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, and like I said, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all my new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. You all have an awesome day, and I will see you guys next time.